Have you ever peed yourself?
Fuck, I've done worse than that. Shit. I love something I heard. He said that your life's a book, but you have the pen.
Write it.
He's like, you can write it yourself.
I'm not gonna knock it because obviously, like, there was a time in my life where,
yeah,
I smoked and I did this and that, whatever, and like, it's very interesting to like think, influence this and that. Like, you were just around and you thought it was okay. Like, you almost thought like you were born into that shit. Like,
Yeah.
This is the Weather Channel.
Girls Like Girls podcast.
I am Gerald, the realist.
I am Leslie, the Leslie Martinez,
The Leslie Martinez.
and it's 2024, and it's us again. And we're gonna get into some good conversations. We have something special right here. You want to show them? You want me to show them?
Show.
Boom. This isn't sponsored, but this is burning questions. We'll get into that a little later. Hey, before we even get started, I wanted to ask you something. So, on your Instagram, you'd be like taking videos of you singing. What do you listen to? It's all old music, right?
For the most part.
Okay, so like spill some like tea for them. What do you listen to?
That's so funny. That's interesting that you pointed that out.
Because when I see it, I get in a good mood. Like,
That's why I listen to it.
okay, because it puts you in a good mood.
Yeah. I feel like I'm an old soul when it comes to music. I feel like,
No one's listening to that these days.
well, because I feel like if there's a generation that's going to continue that legacy of music, I think it's us.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you're like in your early 20s, you definitely don't listen to that.
Right.
I think maybe if you're in your mid 20s, like closer to your 30s, you still kind of listen to that, just depending on your upbringing. But I feel like I've always been very like inspired by music, even though like I'm not a fucking singer or producer or anything like that. I just feel like it's influenced me from a very young age, and that's basically the music that I grew up with. So I feel like it. I hold it close to my heart, and I don't know. I love the energy it gives me. Like, it gives me.
Definitely does.
And the songs actually have a message, and they actually have a meaning to it.
What's the
Not
message?
Fucking like ass and titties and
Kill
drugs
this.
and pills and
Drugs.
it's like,
Yeah.
like I feel like one of my favorite songs by the Gap Band is "Outstanding."
Ooh, so when that played in California, you were probably happy.
So it's like, but it's like anything like "Love Come Down," like fucking fuck. So many like anything that has to do with like 70s, 80s, and 90s, absolutely. But it's just a different groove. You know what I mean? Like, it puts you in a different.
Yeah.
It's a different vibration.
Definitely, because again, like follow her on Instagram if you're not, but you'll post like it just looks like having a great time just singing. But when I listen to it, I'm like, it makes me want to just like have a good time.
Yeah.
And like I'm opposite, so I listen to like new music, so I listen to all the new shit these days. And she can't stand it. Dominique can't stand it. She's like, what are they saying?
Like, what is it though? Like,
it depends. If I want some hype shit, then I'm gonna listen to like Drake. Are the lyrics good? Probably not. But is it gonna get me hyped? Yes, because again, it's vibration, like you said. So when the beats drop, it's like it gets you hyped. I want to go to the gym, like I'm hyped. But I also didn't really grow up on like 70s and 80s, even though my mom was born in the 70s. But I don't listen to 70s and 80s.
What did you like grow up listening to?
90s R&B.
Okay, I mean that's still good music though. But
yeah, my mom was definitely blasting like Usher.
Yeah,
that was her crush. So
that was like the beginning of like sensual music.
Mm-hmm.
When things started to become a little bit more explicit and like more sexual and just.
Yeah.
But it's like if you really listen to like the old school music, like. I mean, well, if you're listening to like Rick James and shit, or like Marvin Gaye, like it can get a little bit X-rated, but.
And I know all them. I just.
Yeah, it's just not your like daily cup of tea, like.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get into it a little bit. I need some pointers from you.
You know what though? You know what's like interesting is like, okay, so yesterday, actually like last week, let me track real quick. Last week I started listening to like Christian rap.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard some of that. How's that?
Honestly, I'm like fucking mind blown.
It's good.
Like how like yeah. Like
Okay.
there's a song called gosh, I don't even know off the top of my head, but it's by Holvey.
Hovey. Okay.
Oh, it's called Altar. He has a couple good ones, but it's called Altar and it's by Holvey. And like it's like so pure, but like the beat is like
Yeah.
some
like
shit
rap.
like this, like, you know, and it's like this shit like it makes you bang your head a little bit, like it makes you bob, like, you know, and it's like everything he's talking about is so like holy and pure and like genuine, like,
Yeah,
and it
sure.
actually like because you're listening to the lyrics, it changes your mindset and it makes you like, you know, just be like not so much in meditation because obviously the tempo of the song is like a little bit, yeah, but it's still like it gives you a good drive, like, and a good like just I don't know, it's different. I'm like, that's crazy. Like we're out here like listening to all this garbage, and it's like subconsciously like the whole like fucking Doja Cat, like
Oh my
that's like
gosh.
one off the top of my head that I can like,
can't.
like
I
you
can't
know,
with Doja Cat.
it's
Sorry.
like it's so crazy though, like how vividly they paint the picture for you, and you subconsciously like sing these songs, and you know you learn the dances, and it's like I don't know, I feel like if there's one thing about me this year, it's like if I was big on energy before,
No.
I'm like I'm like obese on that shit this year, like, you know, so it's like I'm not gonna like continue to listen to something that's going into my mind
for sure
that isn't like giving me any fruitful thoughts.
a lot of the time it just doesn't align, you know, like
Yeah.
sometimes you just can't like relate to it. And I think for me it's like I think half of some of the reason why I even was smoking weed is because of the rap songs. Like some of the shit I was listening to is just like they're rapping about it like it's fine then.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna take a hit of my weed, like, oh, I'm gonna roll up now. But like rappers, they have such a big influence on people, and I'm older now, so
Okay, it's
I
crazy.
don't really fall into it. But
Did you ever listen to SBM?
SBM, no.
No?
I might know a song.
South
but-
Park Mexican?
Oh, I've heard some shit.
Okay. I was listening to that shit when I was in like
Might get canceled for saying this now. Just
fourth, fifth. No, but okay, this is what's crazy. Like, because you just said that, like the smoking weed. Like the very first time I ever smoked weed was I was in the fourth grade.
Fuck.
And that and well, that's what my brother listened to. So it was like, you know, but it's like it's crazy. Like yesterday, I heard someone bumping him, and I was like, damn, I haven't heard him in a minute. So I played one of his songs. Right, it's one of like my favorite songs at the time. It was called "Filthy Rich," and it's like. He says, this is what an OG told me, filthy rich and dying lonely, fuck up Benson, fuck a Rollie, life is what you make it, homie.
Okay.
Like, that's some real ass shit,
Yeah.
but it's like, like the whole song is like just, it's so like nasty and like just dark, like this motherfucker was twisted, you know, like he was a gangster, like,
Yeah.
but it's like, how is it that a 10-year-old little girl is listening to that? And like now, like I'm like, because I was like so inspired, like so no, not inspired. I was so influenced by my oldest brother.
Yeah.
I thought that music was sick, and I
Right.
thought that like, you know, it's like, let me hit a joint for the first
Yeah.
time, like, you know. So it's like, it's true.
Yeah.
Like you feel like because they're saying it, like it's okay, like you know, you don't have to feel that bad or like.
Yeah, very true. And that's why, like Nipsey Hussle, like he talks about some real shit. And I was trying to tell someone that I work with, I was like, "Have you heard of Nipsey Hussle?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Just listen to him. Like, listen to the shit he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
this shit's real. He's talking about real shit." And yeah, shout out Nipsey Hussle.
And it's
R.I.P. Nipsey. But
R.I.P. Nipsey. Like, it's crazy. It's like Tupac. Like Tupac was a poet.
For sure.
He wasn't really a rapper. Like, he was a fucking poet, but he obviously put it in a music form. So it's like, it made it like a song. But like, if you really pay attention to the messages these people are trying to tell you, like, it'll change your perspective on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And going back to like kids listening to music, like, I think right now, I think parents should be the most strict with kids as they probably ever been.
But they're more free.
Because of the generation. Because we're the ones, our age, we're raising them. So, and you know how free we are.
Yeah.
And so we don't put restrictions on kids because we want to be like, or they want to be like the cool parents.
Right.
You know, but there's so much influence out there that I actually think the opposite. Parents should be very strict right now because of all the shit that's going on.
I actually wanted to talk about, like, being intentional.
Okay.
Like, what's something that you're very intentional with? And then what's, like, something that you just do out of second nature, but you're not, like, completely, like, how can I say this? Like, for example, like, I see my parents every day.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a norm. But, like, I'm not intentional in the sense of, like, hey, like, let's go for dinner tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah. I try to be intentional with a lot of shit. I'm trying to think of something that I'm probably not intentional about.
Like, for example, you have to walk her every day.
Yeah.
But, like, are you fully in, like, with the intention of, like, you're going to go on a joyful walk with her and, like, you know, like, kind of, like, interact with her on your walk so it makes it, for her, it's, like,
fun, like, enjoyable.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm very intentional with making sure she has the best walk, which kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, you
Because
really start to think about it, like
she walks, but
that's it. Yeah, she shits and pees and all right, back in the house.
Yeah, but she does get played with every day. Not outside, but she does get played with her toy. But I do try to be intentional with a lot of shit because I heard be intentional every day from this, like, motivational thing I was watching, and it definitely changed the way I thought of things. So I try. But yeah.
It's like one of those, like, say what you mean what you say type things, you know? It's like, it's crazy though. Like, we just take so many shit and people for granted, like, but you're not thinking that on a daily, you know? But it's like, it was this podcast where they talked about, like, the average the lifespan is like you're lucky if you hit 70 or 80 years old now. But everyone's mindset, you're like, nah, I'm gonna be 100 or whatever the fuck, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like if you hit 30, it's like, oh no, I still got 70 years. Bullshit. Like, you have 40 years
Yeah.
left. So it's like, you know, they talked about how many trips do you take with your family a year?
Yeah. That's one thing I'm not intentional with, is making time for my family.
For your family,
Yeah. So that's something that needs to change.
maybe you can work on that a little bit more.
Definitely.
That's definitely one pointer for me too, even though I see my parents every day. But it's like, it's that, because you're accustomed to that, like, oh, I got them, or they're at home, or they're, you know.
Yeah. And taking shit for granted, man. When I had this strain or spasm, man.
Hey, that motherfucking neck was stiff. All you can do shit, girl.
Yeah, so I couldn't move for like 3 days, but I took time off for 2 weeks. And it was like, again, I didn't know how much I used my damn neck every day. And it was like, I wake up and I go on my 2 feet, and it's like, I didn't even think of that. It was just, I just got out of bed, 2 feet. Some people have to put like a, what's it called? Prosthetic leg on.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think of that. I just got up and got out of bed. Like, it just showed me like, damn, I don't take shit for granted.
Yeah,
Like-
my mom's actually always told me that about my feet, like about your feet. Like you just get up and you go.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ask your feet for permission. Like, hey, I'm gonna get up to go to the kitchen. Like you just get up and go, and then that's it. And like your feet go, like wherever you know, like.
Yeah. It
like,
made
when
me
do
very
you ever
thankful.
like rub your feet out at night before you go to bed?
I do that sometimes.
Do you
Yeah.
intentionally?
Kind of, because they hurt, but I can't say that.
No pain.
No pain.
No pain.
We don't have pain.
For New Year's, it was very interesting to be like at home chilling by like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. But it felt so nice.
Yeah. It's because you're getting old. I was like,
Hey, you know what? You can call it what you want, but you know what? I can appreciate age.
for sure.
I can appreciate it because not only do I become wiser every day, but I feel like you just like appreciate life from a different standpoint.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Were you usually like going out on New Year's?
fuck yeah. Every New Year's.
Like getting lit?
Till 3, 4 in the morning. Like,
Sheesh.
you know, like,
I never really been that kind of
I
person.
feel like there hasn't been one New Year's that we've spent the way we spent it this year.
And that's good
like,
then, and it felt good. Like,
Vegas party, like someone we always knows like having a party or something like big's happening or like, you know, like, but
you begin to appreciate the little shit, I guess you could say.
and it starts with your health, your mental health, first and foremost. You gotta get your mind right,
For sure.
And it felt good to wake up on the first and like not be fucking hungover and not be,
That's funny.
you know, like, but maybe I'm just becoming a nana.
That could be
You
it.
think I'm a nana? Put Jeriel the nana in the
Yeah.
comments.
With the grandma emoji.
I ain't mad at it though. It's called self-love. It's exactly what it's called.
And I was talking to someone, and I was like, I can just appreciate being like alone. A lot of people just can't be alone. And he was like, the person I was talking to was like, it's my coworker. He was like, there's a difference between being lonely and being alone. And I was like, yeah, that's so true. And you don't feel lonely, especially when you got yourself. That's not lonely.
See, but like, how do you get someone to have that type of mindset like you?
Well, like I was telling him, I think I have a different perspective on it because I feel like I grew up a loner. Like, that was just me. Mom left, brother left, dad wasn't there, so I had no choice to just be by myself. And so I just learned that. And I learned to just do shit by myself, entertain myself. I didn't need anyone to be there with me, so growing up, I just feel like I don't need anyone.
That's real.
So I just took that and stayed that way as I got older. For other people, I'm not really sure, but I can only speak for myself.
Everyone's upbringing is different, right? Like everyone's like just experiences through life are different, but unfortunately, like that's what really molds your perspective, because that's what it comes down to, like how you view life. And like I have a question. You said like you entertain yourself, so it's like, did you like crack a joke and then go to the other side and then like
oh
laugh?
my gosh, no. I just like it
you were the comedian and the audience at the same time.
It sounds so like lonerish, but I would just like read or like just watch Netflix by myself. Like, I don't know, I was just that person. Like I sat there and evaluated myself all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I got to learn myself,
right,
and who I was, and I just feel like people don't do that till they're older. And like, I'm talking a 50-year-old at work, and he doesn't know how to be alone. And I'm like, bro, I've been alone since I was little. It ain't nothing but some self-love.
That's it, baby. Self-love. I got asked the other day, actually. It was like, what do you say? Oh, if you can describe your brand Yeah, like what type of vibe would you describe your brand?
Mm.
And I was like, a vibe.
Yeah, that's a hard question in a way.
It was interesting though, but like, and you should have seen him. He was dressed like a fucking pirate.
What?
The girl was dressed like a, and no shade.
Where were you guys?
It was First Friday,
Oh, that's why.
and like no shade. Like they were actually CBD sellers.
The pickle
Like,
ones? There's a pickle place that.
You lost me.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
No, what is it though? CBD pickle?
Yeah. And I tried one.
Is it good?
Hell no. Terrible.
Oh,
But yeah, I was like, whoa.
you were relaxed.
Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting how it like gives you that effect, but without being high.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the story. Yeah. So they came up to like my booth or whatever, and they were like, that was what they asked me, and I was like, I never really thought of my brand being a vibe.
Mhm.
But if I can describe it as a vibe, I guess it would be like an uplifting one, like a motivating
For sure.
one.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, but I was like, I never really thought of that. Like,
Were you kind of like stuck a little bit?
I was. They made me really think for a second, but it was just like interesting because they were like both
Pirates.
two very different individuals from the crowd, but it was like I just every time I have like a conversation with someone, I always wonder what their story is.
Yeah.
Every time, like doesn't matter who it is, guy, girl, like anybody.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like that's what makes me. I feel like that's what makes me me because I'm so fucking curious about everything and anything.
Yeah. Which is good. It's
Everybody.
great quality because, yeah, you get a lot of information that way.
It can be bad though. Curiosity kills the
why?
cat.
I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but
That one time. I feel like sometimes knowing a little bit too much, you know,
yeah.
can. Just,
But I don't know, but how though?
I think I need to work. Being wise isn't a bad thing, but
Not at all.
being wise and impatient is a foolish thing.
Wise and impatient.
Yes. Because you can know a lot of shit, but if you're impatient, it doesn't do you any good.
Okay, I can agree with that.
You know, so I feel like I'm still working on that side of me. I don't know, it's interesting because I feel like even me growing up with two older siblings, I felt like a lot of my time was alone too, and I feel like that's what makes me me.
Yeah, definitely. And like, being alone is the reason I started my shoes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have, I don't know, I just never, and it's not like a sad thing. Like, it's all good.
No, it's not. I feel like we need to like embrace like solitude. Like being alone is a good fucking thing. Like you need that.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you're in a relationship with someone, like you need time for yourself.
Yep.
Like
It
like
really
you
makes
said,
you a
to
strong
really
person.
Get to know yourself and what it is you want, because like I don't think people understand, like tomorrow you're gonna wake up with a different mindset than you woke up today. Why? Because something happened to you today, I don't know what, or you saw something that was like
Yeah.
or we're gonna have a conversation here at some point that it's gonna be like, oh,
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's like people are constantly changing, and it's like if you don't get time to yourself to really like fucking evaluate that, like you're never gonna hit like different parts of your brain, basically.
I agree. What was your biggest takeaway from 2023? And if you want, I could go first.
Go for it.
I thought about it a little bit since I'm the one who wrote
Came
the
up with
question. But I was thinking to myself, and I was just like, for me, I think 2023 had a big ass mirror in front of me. It was just a big mirror that was just like,
That's solid.
just me. And I was like, who do I want to be? And like, you look at yourself in the mirror and you really ask yourself that, it's like you start taking out all the negative shit that you don't want. So in 2023, I feel like it showed me it was like all the ups and downs, and it just showed me everything that I had to see. And one thing I heard, you probably heard it too, it was nothing happens to you, happens for you. And
Powerful.
I feel like that was huge. Like, that really is sticking with me now. And I don't know, it was just like a big ass mirror. Like, this is you. Who do you want to be? Are you okay with yourself? Do you love yourself? Like, and now in 2024, because of that mirror, I know exactly like what I want, and I'm just fucking going for it. Like,
Tunnel vision.
yeah, for sure.
They say it's the year of the Mamba.
Yeah, I know, and that makes it even better. But I'm like, wow, everything really is just planned and it happens for a reason. Like, I really had to go through all that shit. I really had to go through all that just to
Like, what?
figure it out.
What's like one thing that you feel okay talking about that's like a reflection of has you like now where you're at?
I kicked the weed. It's out of here. That's one thing. It's not for me anymore. I think I was very influenced when I was younger. That had me thinking that, one, it was cool, and two, I was with someone who did it all the time, and that influenced me. That I thought, well, you do it, so I'm gonna do it too. Just like, kind of like what we were talking about with like the rappers. And like, you're not born with that, so you don't need it.
Right.
And
like, I'm not gonna knock it because obviously like there was a time in my life where
yeah,
I
you guys
smoked
know.
and I did this and that, whatever, and like, on social and occasions, like whatever, I still do gimmies and this and that. But it's like, it's very interesting to like think just the same thing that you said, like influence, this and that. Like you were just around and you thought it was okay. Like you almost thought like you were born into that shit. Like,
yeah.
and it was like, I met an angel that was like, I don't really like that shit, so you gonna have to pick your poison. And like, it was so interesting that like there was already like a very like deep like part of me that was like, I really just do this shit because like it's my day to day.
Yeah, it's just,
but not truly because I want to sit here and be smoking a blunt and be high out of my mind, like, and it's like,
I was watching this podcast, and this guy was talking about how he used to smoke weed a lot, and he said once he started smoking, he like started seeing demons, right? So I was like, okay. To me at the time, it was like a little extreme. I remember one time I was smoking, and like so many negative thoughts like just started flooding
your head.
And I was like, whoa, this is like too much. And I was like, maybe smoke a little more, it'll go away.
Wu-Tang that bitch.
And you guys seen me, like, you guys know I smoked. And I don't really like talking about it because back then I would say it and I wouldn't keep my word. But now I know I won't. It's a different feeling. But anyways, so I smoked a little more, and whether it was anxiety, whether it was demons, whatever it was like, that shit just took over. And it's like not a good feeling. And people who smoke will always deny it.
Absolutely. You know what's so fucking trippy is that like they say, oh, like you get high, but in reality, like your energy is just like it's almost like you sink.
Yeah.
Like you fucking actually get low. Like, why? Because your awareness is slow. That's the fucking main thing. Like,
yeah,
you can tell me like you see, okay, like, and now I'm gonna like sound like a hypocrite a little bit or like contradict myself, but it's like I've had some of my most creative moments when I'm off edible.
That's true.
I'm not even gonna fucking front.
That's
about that.
very true.
I've come up with some of the craziest shit, and it's like why do I have to be in this type of fucking level, head level to reach that? Like,
yeah,
it's already inside of my brain. Like,
exactly, it's in you.
But it's, I don't know, it's crazy though. I'm I applaud you for that. I
Thank
take my
you.
hat off because that's huge, especially coming from someone that's a big time.
You seen it.
Yeah, so it's like that's huge, and I support you 1,000%.
And hey, it's fucking hard.
I'm sure
I'm
it
not
is,
gonna lie, man.
but it's not impossible.
It's not. And the purpose is bigger than the temporary feeling
That's a fucking clip.
of being fucking high. It's bigger than that. And like the great thing is, and like you were saying how New Year's used to get lit, right? Okay, so obviously I used to get lit with weed. You get it all out already. Like it's all out. I already did that. Now I could close that chapter.
Yeah.
And now I can go further. And it's like, I love something I heard. He said that your life's a book, but you have the pen.
Write it.
And he's like, you can write it
Write it.
yourself. Obviously, God has a plan, but you get to write the little things.
Yeah.
And he was like, so you get to make your life. And it's like, that's very true. Very true. So, yeah.
Like, not to really get into like the whole religion talk, because I feel like that can turn very sideways for a lot of people, but I feel like we should bring a little bit of awareness to it, just because I think it's important. One, to me, it's the most important thing in my life. God is the most important thing in my life.
Yes.
Am I a perfect human? No. But like now this new journey that you're on, how does it what's like your take when it comes to like the spiritual side of like this new journey that you're on? Like, do you feel like you're you want to be more spiritually like inclined on this new journey, like, because I mean you can be focused on many other things, right?
Yeah. It's actually funny that you mentioned it, and I actually want to know why. Why did you mention it? Because I do have a huge answer. I just want to know why. That's just you.
I feel like no, I feel like we're two totally different people, but we do a lot of the same shit.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes when we set goals, and obviously our goals are very different, but I feel like a lot of the shit that you're telling me right now, I didn't know. Obviously, like everyone that's like, this is firsthand.
For sure.
So it's like, it's inspiring, it's motivating, it's, because like you're the type of people that I want to be around.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Same.
Like I'm done. Like people are cut. It's
Dang.
like, because it's like, I'm just on a different fucking clock.
Yeah.
Everyone has time, but the clock that I'm on, it's ticking different.
Okay.
And if you don't understand or you can't hear that tick,
I get it. Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like, and it's nothing. It's funny. Like I had a homeboy call me the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, like I've, because I'm always like clicking on his shit, and he's like, I just want to check in on you, And so it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I was like, I don't know if you've noticed, but I just fucking unfollowed everybody. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah,
only
yeah.
person I
I've
follow
seen
is
that.
her, and it's like, there's a really big reason and a big purpose. There's a bigger purpose than is just a follow, like. But it's interesting, like people will point it out in the sense of like, hey, you're not like watching my shit anymore, or like, hey, like,
It gets personal.
yeah, they become worried on to why you're not interacting with their shit anymore. But it's like, I just like, if I'm gonna follow you, I'm gonna follow you in real life, and if I'm gonna do that, it's because you have something to teach me.
Okay. Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's like, I appreciate everyone that's still following me, like whatever, like, because I'm going to continue my journey and still be me and like, obviously become a better version. But I feel like there's just time for everything. And I'm at a point where it's like, I'm still reachable. My number hasn't changed. So for everybody who has my number, like, you can still reach me if you really want to.
For sure.
But
have you had people be like, why aren't you following me?
yeah,
She unfollowed the podcast by accident.
she said, I thought you followed the podcast, and I was like, oh, I did, but
I knew. I knew.
but
I'm
it's
not
like,
stupid. I knew what it was.
and I don't know, but I've had people who are like, like, what the fuck, like,
And I knew what it was because I did that.
but
like a
it's
year
like
ago.
interesting to like see people's reactions of like,
It matters. It's personal, yeah.
It's personal.
Yeah.
Like,
for
it ain't
you.
personal towards you. Like, I still fuck with you as a person. Like, and if I see you out there somewhere, like, I'm gonna still say hi and this and that. Like, nothing changes.
Right.
In the sense of, like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. We're not on the same type of time.
See, that was like this guy at work. He was like, I told him I did social media for a little bit, and he's like, just every 5 minutes. That's so cool that you have so many followers. And it started irritating me. And I said, what does that mean? Okay. 50K followers doesn't mean I got 50K in the bank. Like, that doesn't equivalent to that. I'm just confused. Why do you think that matters?
So cool. Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. He started like stuttering, and I'm like, you don't even know why. You don't even know why you like it so much. And I was like, it's cool. It's not as cool as you think it is. Like, I just don't give a fuck about that. Like,
You should have been like, is it cool when people are on your shit all the time, talking shit when you fuck up or when you do, like, you know? So it's like, social media is not supposed to be like that, but it turned out to be like that. Because of us, we've created that. Like,
that's true.
you know, we've created that. Oh my gosh, they have 50 million followers. Like,
Like, it matters. Like, what?
like, bitch, you got meat and bones just like I do. We're not anything different.
Yeah, you get a scratch, we bleed. Like, it's.
But not everybody's gonna understand that.
I mean, I don't think he does understand it.
And you know what though? It's okay. For those who don't understand that, it's okay because you're not there yet. You know, it's not your time to understand that.
What was the question that you asked?
Just if you wanted to incline a little bit more on your spirituality and just be, you know, whatever it is you believe in, whether it's the universe or God or.
Well,
do you feel like you want to practice that more and like take it more serious versus like just believing that it exists?
Yeah. So yeah, you ask that, and it's just kind of crazy that is my journey now. Obviously, I believe in God. I hope we all knew that, but I do now. I never really been religious, but do I have the Bible on my phone? Yes, I do. And do I read it? Yes, I do. So that has been a new journey for me, and it's fucking amazing. Like, I love it.
That's dope. It's super dope.
One thing I realized was, I'm gonna try to word it the best I can. It's like, if there's bad, then there's good.
Absolutely.
And it's like, if you're in the cycle of all this bad, you could put it on God, and you can elevate that way. So that's what I did. I put all the negative on him because that's what you're supposed to do, and it just elevates me more. And that shit is like, it's fucking crazy. But I didn't know there was so much good because I was such in the bad, you know.
You just had your eyes on the wrong thing.
Yeah. And then so that actually leads me to another question I had in here, but I wasn't gonna ask it, but I'll ask it now because it kind of makes sense. What is fear? What is fear to you?
False evidence appearing real.
Damn, you knew that right away. You had that one like ready.
I've studied that.
Okay. Damn. Can you repeat it?
False evidence appearing real.
Okay. There it is.
Like, you know what's interesting is like I have a design that says that. It says fuck fear. But the U is a smiley face. And I've yet to put it on a shirt because she says it's very vulgar. Not vulgar, it's very
just out there.
Yeah. But you know what? It's like fuck fear.
Yeah.
Like it's that shit does not exist. It exists only in your mind because you're creating that whatever it is, whether it's an emotion or a fucking, I don't know,
that little voice in your head. And one thing like I put in my head was like, there's no fear. You know, you can't be fearless without fear. You know? I'm like, I thought of that today.
Good point.
I'm like, so again, there's the good and the bad. There's no good without bad. There's no bad without good. And like,
elaborate that a little bit more for me, please.
I'll try my best. I just thought, how can I be fearless? And then I was like, if I need to be fearless, and that means fear kind of exists. Just again with the good and the bad. I just realized that there's two.
Yeah, for sure. It does exist. But unfortunately it can overtake. It can overpower a lot more people than we should allow it to. But yeah, that's solid. That's a solid point. Like when you talk about like the devil, like what is your like what is like your like what do you think of that?
I think that is all the negative in the world.
Okay.
Like just straight like that. Like when that voice in your head wants to tell you do this and you know it's bad, you know it's not good, that's what it is. That's what I believe it is.
That shit's crazy.
All
huh?
the bad. Yeah.
Yeah, we open that door for it to even we give it the slightest chance of like just
Yeah, it's
know?
temptation. That's also what it is.
right. Temptation isn't a sin until you give in though,
True.
because you're human. So it's you're
True.
you're naturally going to think crazy shit, stupid shit, fucking twisted shit.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously
It's up to you.
to bring that really to life or not, you know?
And I just feel like when, like we were just talking about, like just when you put your faith into it, it just feels like everything's gonna be okay. Like, everything's all right, and shit's gonna happen how it's supposed to happen.
We actually went to church on New Year's.
Oh, really?
7 a.m.
That's good.
It felt really good to do that.
Is that something that's gonna be like a consistent thing?
That's the goal.
The goal.
But you know, sometimes when you really intend good, everything is gonna work against you to stray you away from that.
Oh yeah.
Because you know, like the potential that you have when you start to build on good soil, the fruit that's gonna come from that, you know. And it's like you said, there's so much fucking evil in this world that it's just simple energy, you know. Like you can tell people like, hey, I went to church on New Year's. Like, you went to church on New Year's? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
Right.
That energy or that response is like, that's already working against you.
Yeah.
You know. But
the test.
obviously,
the
like
test.
the mentality you carry and just like how you hold yourself, right, is what really matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately it comes down to the connection that you have with your spiritual guide, which is God. But yeah, it's interesting. I feel like it was a really refreshing and like good way to end and start the year.
What did they talk about? Just one thing.
They actually talked about intention and like being like more mindful when it comes to God and like take it serious. You know, like because the seed that you sow will reap. And so it's like if you know, take God as like not as a joke, but just kind of like just do it when it's convenient to you. Don't expect for everything to be peachy and dandy like the whole year. When you only want to reach out when it's convenient, you know?
Yeah, it's not how it works.
But that was what it was about. And they give you, that day they gave us 3 mustard seeds.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, it says it in the Bible, like, you don't have to have this big faith. Like, your faith can be the size of a mustard seed. You ever seen a mustard seed?
Yeah, really little.
The tiniest seed. It's the tiniest seed.
Okay.
So it's like, but as long as the faith that you have is real, it can be that small. But if it's real, it's gonna work.
Well, shit. Should we get into those questions?
We can hit one or two. I feel like this conversation was really good. And you know what's interesting is like I feel like a lot of people, because this is the Girls Like Girls podcast, right? I feel like a lot of people think because they're gay, they get told like they're a sin or they're bad people or they're gonna go to hell. Like, don't let people give you that
For sure.
perspective when it comes to you and God. Like, the connection is between you
Facts.
and that higher power, and there's nothing and anything in this world that can interfere with that. I guarantee you, if you're genuine about it and you truly meditate and you truly pray about it, he will speak to you. And it's like you have to clear your mind for that.
Yes.
You can't be living the life that you're out here and doing this and that, and like your thoughts are not gonna ever let you hear that. So
And I feel like I'm a victim of that. That scared me for a long time.
and you know, it's like you said it earlier, God wrote your story and you're just here to fill in the details and you know, maybe fix a couple of grammar mistakes here and there, but
right.
he doesn't make a mistake, so I can't even say that, because everything that's going to happen in your life is meant to happen, you know. And if you're meant to be with this person for the rest of your life, but you're a very high spiritual person, like, people are going to see way past whatever you do in your personal life. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like it's big, and a lot of people, they don't like give into that because it's the uncool thing, right? I feel like God is like such an uncool thing, which I don't understand why. Like, people are scared to talk about it, whether it's because it's gonna stir up a disagreement or an argument.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit makes you uncomfortable, then we ain't even supposed to be having this conversation to begin with. So you can, like,
And it takes, it's your timing.
right. But you know what? I have faith that everybody in this world, everybody living in this world, will bow down to him. You want to know something that blew me away, that I just learned this like a month ago? When God said, "Let there be light," he didn't create the sun till 3 days later. But there was light. When he said, "Let there be light," there was light. But the sun hadn't even exist yet. So when you guys can explain that to me,
Yeah.
I'll stop believing.
That's wild. Sorry.
That's just powerful.
Yeah, it's amazing, really.
That is amazing. For everybody who's still tuned into this podcast, I promise that you will be blessed at the end of this podcast. You got to understand, with this podcast is going to come growth, and there's going to be change.
Probably a bigger audience.
And a bigger audience and one with more purpose.
Yeah, one thing that is very true is just when you're true to yourself, if you're one person one way and you have a crowd or an audience and you decide to change, another audience is going to be right there for that type of, whether it's content or whatever it is. So regardless, you're going to be all right. Just do what you do and you're going to get that crowd because they're going to be on the same page with you. And then the others, they just trickle down and go where they belong. So just remember that.
Burning questions, y'all. Here we go.
We don't know them. We haven't seen them. Unless you've been playing this all the time and shit.
No, I haven't. This is actually like the first legit time that I'm pulling it out to really play. Have you ever peed yourself?
Fuck, I've done worse than that. Shit.
Yeah, I used to pee myself when I was younger. As an adult, I've never peed myself.
No, I've never peed. I've shit myself when it was an accident. Okay. I was really sick. Actually, is when I stopped eating meat. I got food poisoning. And, I thought it was air.
Oh, you let it out, girl.
I was laying down on the couch like this, sick, not the couch. And I remember I had beige pants on.
Oh,
or shorts on.
Shit.
And I was like watching TV and I'm like, oh, gotta let one out. I did it and I let too much out. And like,
She said I let too much out.
I smelt it.
Oh,
I didn't feel it. I smelt it. And it was like diarrhea because I had food poisoning.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, diarrhea farts are the worst.
They feel the same.
They
smell.
They smell like fucking.
So I did that, and then she was actually upstairs, and I texted her. At this point, I went to the bathroom.
Hey, can you bring me a pair of pants?
I went to the bathroom, and I pulled my pants down. I was like, no fucking way. And so I texted her, and I'm like, can you bring me some shorts? I'm on my period. I just started, like, lying, so that she didn't know I shit myself. And she brought me them. I fucking threw them away, took out the trash. And then like, how long ago was it? Like 2 weeks later, I was like, I didn't start my period. And I was like, I shit myself. And she just started cracking up. But yeah, so to answer the question.
Damn. Talk about a burning question, fool.
Burn something else. For sure.
All right, that's my question. Go ahead, pull a card.
Okay. Mm-hmm. This feels right.
This feels right. This feels like the Mega Million.
Okay. Would you change your name? What to?
Penelope.
I knew it. For real, Penelope?
Fuck. I don't know what I...
JR, would you change it to JR?
Gerald the realist, that's what it would be. Legally?
Yeah, legally.
Yeah.
All right. Gerald the realist.
I can't even switch it up more than that because I feel like I take pride in my name even though it's a very common name.
You have to. Oh, I thought you were talking about Gerald the realist. My bad.
Oh, I take pride in that too, but
cuz like you got to live up to that, you can't.
Yeah, and like the most interesting thing about that is like do you think I gave myself that name? Or you think somebody gave me that name?
I would have thought you gave it to yourself.
Really?
Yeah. Just because, like, if you really mean it, then why not name yourself it? But did someone else give you it?
Like, yeah, no. Like, I used to have...
There's more to it, okay?
I used to have this, like, really good homie. And he, like, every time we would talk, like, he would always tell me that.
Oh, I think I did know that.
Like, he'd tell me, like, you're the realest. You know? Like, you always tell me the realest shit.
Mm.
And, well, Jared, I was like, those are my initials. So it was like, I'm the fucking Jared the realest.
And how long ago was that?
Nah, fucking, I've had that name for forever.
Okay.
Like, oh, you mean, like, my homie, my friend? I'm talking about, like, middle school.
Well, yeah, even then, that's still really young.
But, yeah, I think when fucking Instagram first came out, like 2010, 2011.
Yeah, I think so. Around there. Maybe 9.
That's been my name.
Was that your Facebook name?
Facebook name? No. No, I don't even think it was my MySpace name. I don't even remember what my MySpace name was. Did you have a... Wait, did it have a username? It didn't have a username, did it? It was like your actual name?
I believe so. And
Yeah.
some music.
No, that's always been my Instagram name, though. And I remember... Oh, my God.
Daddy eyes? Fuck.
Here we go.
I remember I wanted a Facebook so bad and my mom didn't let me. And then she gave in at 13. Still pretty young.
Hey, did you put like you were 16 on there?
Oh, you did have to lie, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's sad, huh? Like how many fucking predators?
Oh, I know.
That's so terrible.
Have you
and then
seen those?
Then you would pretend, right, to be like older.
Yeah.
Have I seen what?
When older people will enter a group chat and pretend to be like a 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
And there'll be like 20 predators that are like, "Oh, it's okay. Let's meet up."
Oh yeah, it's a catch pedophiles.
Yeah, and it's like crazy. It's fucking disgusting.
That's funny. We were actually talking about. We're actually talking about. Have you guys seen the show Outlast?
No.
Okay, well I won't ruin it for you, but there's a player on there. She's a private investigator.
Okay.
And she was like, because she was like, I'm an entrepreneur or some shit. And Jocelyn was like, how the fuck is she an entrepreneur? She's a private investigator. I was like, she can work on her own, you know? Like, she's basically like a little fucking snitch. Just, you know, like it's a job, but yeah, yourself.
Oh.
But you can get contracted through the police agencies. Like, they'll hire you to be like, hey, we have a fucking warrant for this person. Can you see if, you know, like...
Wow.
And then they go and they investigate. Like,
You said she's pretty much a snitch.
Yeah. But she was so upset. Like, it's
I see that. She's kind of mad right now.
Where was I going with that? What creeps you out the most? Shit bags?
I'm gonna keep these ones funny and light. I'm not gonna go all deep, but what creeps me out the most? I don't know. Scary movie.
What creeps you out the most? Loud chewers?
Loud chewers? I could go with that.
That creeps me out. If you're a loud chewer, that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, we got the same one, because that's... Man, don't smack your food.
Alright, let's see. Don't pick any of the two bottom ones, because they're... just straight off the top.
Okay. What's a relationship deal breaker for you?
Loud chewing.
Deal breaker. Look how they spelled it.
Deal breaker.
Deal
breaker for you.
They put a D like at the end, unless that's how you spell it.
Burning questions, we gotta talk, bruh. Breaker.
I'm suing.
I'm suing.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's so weird. Just to be grammatically incorrect.
What reality show would you love to be on?
Answer the question.
Oh, what was it? What's a Sorry.
We're just gonna ask them.
We're just gonna ask them. Answer in the comments. What's a deal breaker for you? A deal breaker for me would be.
Oh shit! Oh my gosh, the camera's gonna die.
You gotta be clean. Oh shit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be clean, girl.
Okay. Yeah. Scent. Yeah. You scent.
For sure.
Hygiene.
Maybe next time we can get a little bit more deeper. Maybe next time we can play with them on this. Shout out to everybody who's continued to fucking stay on this podcast and support and show love. And you guys are excited every time we drop an episode, even if it's with us or with them or with someone else.
That's awesome.
Truly from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure from the bottom of your heart, you are very much grateful for the support that everybody's shown. Just know bigger and better things are coming this year. This is the Mamba fucking year, and it's the year to fucking go out.
Let's go. Thank you guys for watching. And we're going to be dropping another episode. So stay tuned. We out.